Exchange 5 items and get creative with some additional instructions. Create something beautiful for your junk journal and bring this challenging feeling to your desk. Welcome to round 2 of the 5 items digital swap that I'm doing with Ronda Winstead and Barbara, known as 49 Dragonflies. Last week I've used Ronda's digital sheet to create something. If you have missed that video, please check out the info box. I have linked that down below for you. And of course, you can also check out the other both channels for the videos of last week if you have missed that. Today I have to use Barbara's digital sheet that you can see here. And I also got some instructions from her that I have here. And Barbara was really kind compared to Ronda because, as you can see, she has made this sheet without any pink items. Yay! Thank you, Barbara. Thank you very much. That means I can use my coffee today to drink it instead of putting the items into my cup of coffee. That's really great. So Ronda has already asked if we three want to do this challenge again later on in the year. And I would like to put a general rule to this challenge. So that means that's for you, Barbara and Ronda. If you want to do this digital swap with me again, the rule is you can't put any pink items to your sheets. If you agree with that, we can do this digital swap again. If you don't agree, I'm running away. I'm not joining. Okay, so let's do this. And I'm only kidding. Of course, you can put as many pink items to your sheets as you want, because I have much coffee here in my little house. So that would be no problem. Okay, so let's read the instructions that Barbara has given to us. And when I say she has given those instructions to us, then I'm talking not only about myself, but also about you, because you can get this and this as a freebie on Barbara's website. So as you can see here, this says 5 items digital challenge freebie. So we all made our digital sheets that we've swapped around into a freebie for you. You can find the link for this one here below my video. If you want to have the other both sheets, I mean Ronda's sheet and my sheet, then you have to visit the other both channels, please. There you can find the link for the other sheets if you want to have them as well, and if you want to create something with them and follow the instructions on the other sheets. So Barbara says use the large piece. I think she means this one here. No. No, sorry. Use the large piece with the lace in combination with real lace fabric and a button. So she means this one. So this is the piece with the lace, and she wants me to use this in combination with real lace fabric and a button. So I have some lace here, some fabric, and I also have some buttons here. In between of these gears that I perhaps will need later as well. I'm not sure what I want to do. To be honest, I have some problems with the instructions. But let's see. It's always good to be prepared and have something on the desk already. So the second instruction is add some paint blobs to the envelope. So this is the envelope that can be really easy, I think. We can just make some mess here. Number 3, use the butterfly, this one here, in combination with a clock. If you don't have one, make one. That was my point of struggle number 1, because I could only find these clocks here in my stash. So this is a clock without a clock. know, but I think this can be a clock as well. Then I found this thing, but this is really, really thick. So this is a real clock. And then I found this button here that has a clock on top, but it is also really thick because of this little thing here on the back, and it is really big. So what I also found are these gears. Sorry, they are mixed up with some buttons, but you can see them. I have some that are made out of, I think this is plastic, looks like metal, but I guess this is plastic because it's really light. And I have these that obviously are some die cuts. I got everything of this in some Happy Mails, and I thought perhaps I can also use these because these are the things that are inside of a clock. Do you know what I mean? So Barbara has written, if you don't have a clock, then make one. So I thought that could be a nice addition to what I want to do today. Even if I don't know what I want to do. So number 4 says, add the butterfly / clock image into the envelope so it peeks out, so it peeks through the window. So these are the windows of the envelope, and the butterfly with the clock has to peek out here. And to be honest, I'm sitting here on my desk for a very long time and thinking about how I can manage that, because originally I thought this thing would make a really great focal point, and when I put it into these things, I'm struggling with my imagination because I'm not really sure if that can still be turned into a focal point if I put it here into these little things. I don't know. So number 5 says, use the metal closure as a functional piece to close something, and she's meaning this metal closure. By the way, Barbara, this is just awesome. This image is so cool. That looks so real, and I'm really excited how this will turn out when I've cut that out and use it. So let's see. Okay, then she's wishing us good luck and fun. So yeah, let's see if we can have that. So first of all, I will cut out all of these things. In the meantime, I mean, from last week until now, I have seen many posts on Instagram where you've downloaded our freebies and created something with them after watching our videos. And I have to say, it always makes me so happy when I see something like that, that you not only watch our videos, but also craft along with us. And that makes me really, really happy. Thank you to everyone who has tagged us and who has left some really, really nice words about this swap idea. That is really, really cool and really awesome. I really like that. I'm always like, you know, when I open my Instagram and I see a notification that I was tagged, and then I can see what you have created. That's so cool, because yeah, we are perhaps on, you are perhaps on the other end of the world, and you are doing this with us, and that's so cool. I mean, Ronda is also on the other end of the world, and sometimes I have the feeling that Barbara is there as well, even if she's in Vienna and I'm on the other end of Austria, but sometimes it feels like it is the other end of the world. But do you know what I mean? It feels like we are sitting all together on one really, really big desk, and we are doing this together, and that's a really, really fantastic feeling. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think I have to cut these things out as well, and I'm not sure how I want to do that, because the printable here has these rough edges that I really like. So I think I will not cut that with my scissors, I will only make a little hole here, and then I will tear it so that I can have those rough edges as well. Hopefully that will work. Like this. So I'm trying to tear really close to the original image so that I don't get a wide frame that's too big. Okay, so yeah, that turned out a little bit strange here and there, but I think I can solve that problem later. I have an idea how to, yeah, jazz those edges up a little bit. So I've already prepared a tag. This is a normal scrapbooking paper, 2 layers of scrapbooking paper, so so that I have the same colors on both sides. And my plan is to put this here on top of this somewhere here. Yeah. Oh my goodness. This is really challenging. This is really challenging because of this butterfly. So the butterfly has to be combined with a clock. Since this is really big, I wanted to put this clock on top of the butterfly, but this is, it's too big. It's really too big. This one is also really big, even if the color would fit much better than the other one. But I have the feeling that now not the butterfly is the focal point, but the clock. And I don't want that. I want to have this butterfly as my focal point. That could be nice in some way. I think if we would put something here inside, that could look really interesting, or perhaps even something like this, for example. But how to bring that into those windows, I think, yeah, that's really strange and difficult. So I came up with this idea to put this little gear here on top of the butterfly like this, so that this is, yeah, the proportion is not so weird. And then I thought I could turn this middle window here into some kind of a metal label thingy. And I have these metal labels here. I guess that this is a little bit too big for this plan, because now the top and the bottom one is really close to this middle one. Ooh, but perhaps like this. This is not the baddest thing, I guess. Could also, no, it has to go straight. But let's just check how it would look if we would use this smaller one. This is covering not everything of this thing. It's, yeah, some kind of more the right size, but is that too small for the butterfly? Come on. Oh, that could work. That could work as well. Okay, so let's first cut this off so that I can see that better. So put this somewhere here and this somewhere here. So this is peeking out there now, so that the instruction is fulfilled, hopefully. Now this looks relatively strange. I think we have to decide how we want to attach this thing first before I can decide that. So let's put that aside. And I think I will take this little edge here that's originally meant to build the pocket that Barbara has made here. I'm really not sure what to do with the color palette of this project. So I guess what I have to do first is I have to grunge up this envelope thingy a little bit. I guess walnut stain would be really great with the color of this little thing. First of all, I will crumble that up a little bit so that it gets really, really grungy in the end. And then this time I think I will use my acrylic block and put the ink to the acrylic block. I think that's easier to apply on such a weird shape with these little windows here to get it like I want it, even if I'm not sure if I know how I want to have it. Ooh, that's really light. Let's see. Okay, so let's put everything on here and bring that around a little bit. And now I will dry that with my heat gun, and then I will just crumble this up again because it's still too light for me. Oh my goodness. I have the feeling that I have to print that out again. Let's see. Okay, so now I will try to go over this directly with the ink pad to get those more darker areas. Yeah, okay, so shall we put perhaps a tiny bit of water there and then lift that up so that we get a bit of this oxide reaction to those darker areas as well. And then it gets also a little bit more brownish, grayish. I really like this gray color of the walnut stain, and I think that matches this blue really well, and also this fabric that's in the printable here. Like that. So let's try to put some of this material behind those little windows. Okay, so here I'm back and I've changed my mind a little bit. After I have sewn around these little windows, I've decided that I don't want to sew around here completely because I want to have the eye going to this sewing here, and I think it's too much if I sew around this whole thing. Instead of sewing, we can perhaps distress the edges of this thing later on, really, really dark, perhaps even in black, but let's see. So my idea was to put this somewhere here to close this pocket on the back side. This is relatively long. And we also have to include some real lace and some fabric. So I have chosen this lace because I think that matches this one here really, really well. It has a really similar pattern. And I thought I can put that behind this thing so that this peeks out here so that you can see that from the other side as well. The main problem is this thing looks really cool here on the top of the tag. And when this goes to the back side, I think I really love that. Even the other way around, when this bigger piece is here, I think this is connecting the pocket with the rest. I mean, that are the same colors, or nearly the same colors. That looks really cool. And I also like when this lace is peeking out like this. But what to do with the back side? When I put the lace excuse me, like this to the back side, it's really massive on the back side on the one hand, and on the other hand, this thing has to have a function. Barbara has written, use the metal closure as a functional piece to close something. But how the heck? Here's the problem with the lace. When I put that here, I have a problem. I mean, I could cut that, but what can I close with this closure thingy? Let's first of all distress the edges of this tag. I mean, that's a thing that I know that I want to do it. Okay, so let's try to get this area a little bit more interesting by spritzing some water, lifting that up. Oh, that works really well on this background, on this paper. And I'm just thinking, look at this. I'm just thinking if I want to go with the walnut stain over this whole thing. Ooh, what's that? What is that? I think I have some water on my brush. That's a really great effect, I think. I don't have the refiller for the walnut stain, but I guess it will work with a vintage photo as well, or any other brown color paint, or acrylic paint, for example. So I will just take a few drops of this, put that here. Ooh. Okay, so this looks like this now, and I think I'm happy with that. But I want to have some more black around this whole tag, so I'm using my StazOn Jet Black ink pad. Okay, so then if we turn that around, we have this thing that will go here. I think we have to distress the edges of this as well. Then we have this piece that will go here, like that. And this piece will go here. And now I'm going to need something that I can put underneath to make this a little bit more like a notepad or something like that. Like that. Let's do it like this. Okay, so now I have to bring this together. So I want this lace to be in between of this paper and this paper. Okay, so we still need to include a piece of fabric. Okay, so while this is drying, we can need this for later. We can turn this around, and now we can decide what to do with this butterfly, and especially what to do with this thing. Oh. Where are these little guys? Would be great to put these thinner gears somewhere here, but which color do we need for that? I have this kind of wax thingy, Gilder's paste. This is African bronze, don't know how to say that in English, but I guess that could be a great color to put on here. And now hubby is calling while I'm recording a video. Oh my goodness. So let's call him back. Hello, how can I help you? I'm recording a video.
Oh, sorry.
And now you are live in my video, so please can you say hello to my viewers?
Hello, lovely viewers, lovely guys.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
How can I help you?
No, I call you later.
You call me later. That's nice.
Yeah.
But later, I guess...
you call me.
I call you.
Yeah.
When I have finished this. So that means
Yeah.
in 2 or 3 years, I guess.
Oh, that's long.
Barbara has given me some really weird instructions for a 5 items digital swap. Yes, that's the right reaction.
Lovely Barbara.
And now I have some really weird shit on my fingers.
Shitstorm.
No, shit, not shitstorm. Storm.
Oh.
Shit.
Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I will call you in a few minutes because I will I have to let this dry, what I'm doing here, and then I will call you back.
It's not so important.
Okay.
I only want to hear you.
Oh, that's lovely.
So, see you later.
Hear you later, alligator.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's not so important. He says it's not so important, but why the heck is he calling when it's not so important? I mean, eh? Okay, so I think this looks really cool now. I guess my camera can't catch the real color of this, but it's really, on the one hand, matching the background, but on the other hand, it's standing out a little bit, and that's great. Okay, so in the meantime, I have glued the label down and those little things here. And I'm just thinking how I can glue the butterfly now without having problems that he can be destroyed because he is coming up because of the thickness of the gears and the label. So I have these little dots that I want to put behind his wings to make that a little bit more sturdy. But I guess we also need something, yeah, like this, or even in the same color like his wings, to put underneath him. I think some of this material to let him look a little bit more, that's too big, a little bit more whimsical and filigree. I think in the past I've always said filigrane because in German the word that I want to say is filigrane, and I guess I've always said it wrong. You've asked me what I mean when I say filigrane. That word doesn't exist in English. I found that out in the meantime, so I've looked it up in the dictionary, and I guess I mean filigree. Hope that makes sense, more sense to you. I'm just thinking if I want to add this little thing as a highlight or something like that, because the color is so different than the other one, than the others, but I really don't know if I like that. No, I have to look through my camera to decide that, but I think this is too shiny and too extreme, even if this looks really, really cool in combination with this green. But I guess that is just too much. I have 2 more of those, so we could add 3 of them. That would perhaps make sense. And I'm just realizing I've called my hubby back in the meantime, and he was like, ooh, that was fast, and he was doing some other things and he had no time to speak to me. And I'm realizing that while I have called him back, I've put some food into my microwave because I thought I could eat something in between while I'm thinking how I want to do this. I'm just realizing that I have forgot my food in the microwave. Oh my goodness. Mikrowelle in German, microwave in English, Louise. That is a little bit different. Yeah, okay. So now this looks like this. And I will just go and take this thing out that I have in mind for those drops. And I'm talking about this powder here. I got that in a little plastic bag, and I've put that into this little glass so that I'm able to use that. And I guess that this has the right color. So we shall take a little bit of this. How can we take that out there? Let's take a spatula. How much do I need? I don't know. I guess that's way too much, but let's see. And then spritz some water. Ooh, my goodness. That looks kind of cool. And this has exactly the right color. I'm really amused. Okay. Amused? Is that the right word? I don't know. Okay, so let's try that. How is it possible to spritz there without spritzing the butterfly? Or do I want to spritz to the butterfly? Yes, I guess I want to have some of the splatters on his wings. Because, yeah, that brings him to life, perhaps. So I will try that out. Ooh, that's great. Here on this paper. Stop it, Louise. Stop it. Yep. That's fantastic. That's just fantastic. If that looks as shiny as it looks now when this is dry, I'm really happy with that. Okay, so now I will let this dry. I will go to my microwave and heat up my food. I will eat something, and then when this is dry, I will be back, and then we will go to the back side and finish that up. Whew. It's the next day. I had to wait for these little things here to dry, but they are not dry. Or, I mean, they are dry, but when I go over that with my finger, I can see that I have some of this powder on my finger. And I really don't know what I made wrong. So if anyone has an idea, please leave a comment. I think this stuff is called mica powder or something like that, and I thought mixing this with water would make nice splatters, as it was said in this happy mail that I got, but obviously I have made something wrong and I don't know what. So I have a little problem with rubbing this off, because I guess then my whole tag will get this shiny, glittery surface, and I don't want that. So I came up with the idea to take some glossy accents crackle thing here, and I will try to get some really tiny dots here, exactly there where my splatters are. Let that dry, and then I'm hoping that this color will stay there, and perhaps I can rub off the rest without any shiny leftovers or glittery leftovers. Hui, hui, hui. Okay, so what happened in the meantime? I have put this glossy accents crackle glue thingy here to those areas where those shiny splatters were, and now this is dry and this thing stays in place. Really cool. Not the look that I hoped to get with this powder thingy, but I'm okay with this because now it stays here and it's not coming off when I rub with my finger. I've also decided to put some of the crackle accent thing to the whole butterfly. That has two reasons. On the one hand, I wanted him to be a little bit more standing out, a little bit more glossy, because those gears and the label are some kind of glossy as well, and I think that matches a little bit better, makes it way more elegant. And the main reason was that I wanted to have the butterfly more sturdy. With this glue on top, this printer paper, of course, gets way more heavy, and this is a cool thing when I want to put that into my junk journal later. And I also like this crackled look. This is not completely dry, but I think when it's dry, it will look really, really fantastic. I will show you some close-up pictures in the end of the video. And I also added some white splatters, as you can see. I've used some white gesso that I have watered down and then I've splattered to the piece here. And you can see that in some areas, this metallic powder reacted with the gesso, and of course the gesso is has also reacted with the Distress Oxide ink in the background, so that it is not totally white. and I really like this effect. And I've also splattered some of those things to the wings of the butterfly to make him, yeah, more one with the rest. And I really like those details now. And since the instruction sheet that Barbara has given to us says we shall combine the butterfly with a clock, and if we don't have a clock, we shall make one. And since I came up with the idea with the gears, this is now something like an unfinished self-made clock. So I've started making a clock, so this is my story behind this look. I want to try to explain what's going on in my brain. So imagine I have this idea of making my own clock. That means I take those gears, starting making the clock using this little thing here. I don't know the English name for this thing, but this needs to be on a clock as well. And I'm not finished with my clock. That's the reason why all of these gears are laying around this butterfly, because it's not finished. But what's missing here when I'm trying to make my own clock, of course, the numbers that normally are on a clock are missing. And that brought me to the idea, because we have a pocket here, to take a little card. I perhaps will turn that into a tag and put that in here. I've chosen similar colors like this background has. So that comes from the same scrapbooking sheet like the other one, so that the colors are matching. Even if they are not the same, but I think they are matching. And I guess I want to put that in here and then turn that into a little tag. And I'm thinking if I can stamp some numbers here to the background so that it looks like here are numbers that are that are belonging to the clock. Does that make sense to you? I'm just thinking if this is too brownish, but this, even if I put Distress Oxide ink, it would be perhaps too bright and too turquoise. But, oh, something is going on here. I mean, okay, so I can't decide that. So that means I will take this card that has the right width already, and I will just take that and turn that into a tag, stamp some numbers on both sides really randomly, and then I will put that back into my pocket, and then I will decide in which direction I want to have it. If I want to have it with this bright side showing through the windows, or with the other side. And I'm also going to take some Distress Oxide ink and putting that on both sides, adding some water in the same way I've made it for the other bigger tag, so that it has the same look. I don't want to have this to stand out too much. Okay, so here we go. I have finished this tag with the numbers, and I've randomly stamped this so that, yeah, it's really abstract, I would say. I've also sewn around here. I've used some leftover threads from my sewing machine to create this little weird thingy here that makes it look a little bit more interesting, I would say. I've left the back like it was, so that I have the chance to journal on the back of this little thing, or that I also can put it into this little pocket the other way around. To be honest, I had a really big problem with deciding which of the both sides of this tag is my front side, because this color combination looks really smoothy and really cool to me. This light turquoise in combination with this more vibrant red of the butterfly looks really cool to me. But the other way it's more grungy, more, you know. Do you know what I mean? I really couldn't decide which I like better. So I can now still decide if I want to have it with the numbers shown or the other way around. This color combination is more steampunkish. I would say the contrast is way higher between this turquoise that's showing through here and the rest of the colors. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I have here now. And I've also glued this little gear here to this thing, so that when I later on put that here, that will give us a nice top part here of the tag. The glue is still a little bit wet, so I have to be a little bit careful. And now we have to finish up the bag. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so we had this little piece here that shall go here, and this thing will go there on top, so that we can flip that and use the back as journaling space. And I had prepared this paper here to put it underneath, but I have this problem with this powder here on the paper as well, so I just have to try to rub that off. Otherwise I think I will destroy my whole thing with this pigments. And now this looks a little bit strange, so I will quickly put something on top of that, perhaps even a mixture made out of peacock feathers, distress oxide ink, and the walnut stain, and a tiny drop of vintage photo. Not so bad, I would say. Not exactly the same color like this other piece, but it matches those colors here really well. Take a bit of glue and then bring these both pieces together. Like that. Put some glue here and bring this little guy into the right position here. Exactly to the middle of this tag. And then let's bring that into the right position. Flip this, put the glue here. And flip this back. And now I'm taking my bone folder, if I can find that. I'm going along this edge a little bit to make this fold a little bit round, to have the same thickness as this whole layering is. So perhaps you can see that here. This is 2 millimeters now approximately, so that helps that this whole stuff is laying flat. If you press too much here, I guess this will come up a little bit, and of course I don't want that. Whew, okay, so I think I'm done. I've added these little gears here to the tuck spot, and I think this is really Barbara style, isn't it? I mean, Barbara, do you agree? This part for me is you. I don't know, but this is, yeah, this is totally you. And I don't know how that happened, but now it is here and I'm really happy with that. So let's check if we have fulfilled this challenge. Use the last piece with the lace in combination with real lace, fabric and a button. So that was this piece from the printable. This large thing here in the background. We have this lace here and we have the fabric here and even some more lace here and the button is here. Yay. So add some paint blobs to the envelope. So the paint blobs are here. The white gesso and this mica powder that failed, but I guess that counts as paint blobs. Use the butterfly in combination with the clock. If you don't have one, make one. So here's my unfinished clock that I've tried to make. Everything is, yeah, separated into its pieces. No, that's not what I want to say, but I guess you got what I'm trying to say. Add the butterfly clock image into the envelope so it peeks out through the window. This little thing is peeking out through the windows of this envelope. The butterfly is not in the envelope, I know, but I made it like this so that the butterfly is still the focal point of this whole thing. And I'm really happy with how that turned out. I'm hoping that this is okay, that this goes okay with the challenge. Use the metal closure as a functional piece to close something. So we have this functional piece here now. We can open that and it holds closed with this little magnet. So I would say this is a functional piece now. And we have this little note paper here that we can use to make some additional notes. And I think I will use this to journal about this challenge with Ronda and Barbara. And I will put the instructions here so that I always know what I had to do here and that I can remember this challenge. And I think in my last episode, I've told you that we are doing 2 rounds of this challenge. So that means last week I have used Ronda's sheet for this challenge. This week in this video I've used Barbara's sheet. So our original idea stopped here, but in the meantime we have talked with each other and we came to the idea, and that was also because of your comments, that we want to do a 3rd round of this challenge that will come up next week. So today in 1 week. And in that round we will use our own sheets, our own printable sheets. So that totally makes sense to me. So you can expect another round of this challenge. Next week I will use my own printables that I have sent to the other both as well, and that you can get as a freebie, of course, as well if you want to craft along with us. And yeah, I hope you like this. I'm finished now and I'm really happy. Some of you asked me, how long does it take to make such a thing? Or yeah, not especially this thing, but if you are sitting on your craft desk and you are crafting and in the end you have a video that's perhaps 30, 40, 50 minutes, how long have you sat on your desk and how long has it taken you to record the video and to do this thing? Because what you as my viewers can see in the video that I have edited is of course not the same, the time is not the same like what I'm experiencing here. So I would like to answer to that question. I've started yesterday morning with my actual project. I've thought about that many hours before I started, but yesterday morning I started it really early in the morning. I think it was 6 o'clock in the morning, and now it's the next day and now it's 11 o'clock. So you can say 1.5 day. Yeah, it took me 1.5 day to finish this up, and all the drying times in between and that stuff, and my struggling, of course, with some of the elements of this thing. I've cut out because it would be totally too long for you to watch that. But that's approximately the time that I need to create such a piece. Sometimes even longer. Okay, so that's it from me for now. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see what the other both have created, then please visit their channels. Their videos from today are linked down below in the description box, of course, for you, so that you can check that out. And if you want to craft along with us, download the freebies and yeah, follow the instructions, have fun, create something beautiful for your junk journal, and see you the next time. Bye bye.